Hello everybody, and welcome back to another reading of The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia. I just popped in a Hall's cough drop. Hopefully that'll help me a little bit. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Okay, so the Seal of the Sacred Realm, let's delve right into it. The Temple of Time. The only entrance to the Sacred Realm's Temple of Light, the Temple of Time shares the same name as the temple in the Lanayru Desert of the era of the goddess Hylia. It is thought that Rauru built the Temple of Time directly over the ruins of the sealed Temple of Time, the crest of the royal family. The goddess Hylia had a bird-like crest, and the people of Skyrock rode giant birds. The crest of the royal family incorporates this historically important bird, as well as the three triangles of the Triforce. Crest of the goddess Hylia, crest of the Kingdom of Hyrule. The Kingdom of Hyrule. Created by the Golden Goddess and protected by the goddess Hylia, the world eventually became known as Hyrule. The Hylians, descendant of Hylia, lived in Hyrule and possessed magical abilities. After years of peace, a wave of chaos once again engulfed the land. And we're going to the era of chaos. Ocarina of Time. The battle for the Sacred Realm. The legend of supreme power spread throughout the land, whetting the appetites for those who would possess the Triforce and inciting vicious battles between them. Rauru, the Sage of Light, constructed the Temple of Time, which contained the only existing entrance to the Sacred Realm, where the Triforce was located. With the power stronger than both Time and the Master Sword, Rauru sealed the Sacred Realm. The pedestal holding the Master Sword was closed behind the Door of Time, and the keys to the opening door, the spiritual stones of Forest, Fire, and Water, were protected by their respective people. The Triforce was placed in the Temple of Light, located in the Sacred Realm, which was now isolated from Hyrule. Protecting the Triforce in the Temple of Light, Rauru became the guardian of power of the gods. Rauru, Door of Time. The establishment of Hyrule Kingdom. The descendants of the goddess Hylia, who was reincarnated as Princess Zelda, established the Kingdom of Hyrule and became Hyrule's royal family. In order to protect the Triforce, Hyrule Castle was built in the center of Hyrule, where the Temple of Time was located. The royal family watched over the Triforce, keeping its existence unknown to others. Many members of the royal family were born with special powers because of the lineage that connected them to the goddess. Princesses were repeatedly given the name Zelda, a name that came from the historical legends. Wait, that was it? Oh yeah. To the Force era with the Minish Cap. Picori and the Light Force. The Light Force, a source of infinite power from the heavens that hold enormous power of the Force, which originally dwelled in all things. The Sword Fighting Tournament. A tournament that happens during the Picori Festival at Hyrule Castle. The champion of the tournament is customarily presented with an award in front of the Picori Blade. The Hero of Men. In the first major event to happen since the Kingdom of Hyrule was established, the world was engulfed by evil beings and shrouded in darkness. It was then a tiny Picori descended from the sky, bringing a golden light and a sword. Using the sword, the Hero of Men sealed evil beings away in the bound chest and brought peace to the world once again. The golden light was the Light Force. The Legend of the Light Force. The Royal Family and the Picori. After sealing away all evil beings, the royal family of Hyrule became the careful overseers of the sword, which became known as the Picori Blade. Furthermore, the royal family kept the existence of the land of the Picori, the Minish Realm, hidden. The gratitude of the Picori that held a Picori festival. In gratitude to the Picori, the people held a Picori festival once a year. Picori. The Sword Fighting Tournament and the Picori Blade. Legend said that every 100 years a secret door would open up and the Picori would pass through and enter the world of the humans. Custom to Picori Festival had continued for many, many years. Among them was a sword fighting tournament, and the awards was held in front of the Picori Blade and was the only chance to see the blade. Sword Fighting Tournament's award ceremony. Vadis Reborn and the Four Swords Training. Princess Zelda, the Princess of Hyrule, said to have mysterious power. Afraid Princess Zelda will get in his way, Vadi turns her into stone. Princess Zelda. Smith and Link. Smith is a blacksmith, and Link his apprentice. Smith makes an impressive sword that is given to the winner of the sword fighting tournament. Link and Princess Zelda are childhood friends. were both in attendance at the tournament. The evil sorcerer Vadi. Originally the Minish sage Eslo's apprentice, Vadi courted the evil within the heart of humans, and eventually fulfilled his wish of becoming an evil sorcerer. Vadi believes that this light force is kept within a bound chest, sealed with the Picori blade. He takes part in the sword fighting tournament to get close to it. Vadi as a simple Minish. Unexpected evil at the Picori Festival. For the 100th year of the Picori Festival, there was an unusually grand celebration. In a customary sword fighting tournament, an unknown man named Vadi was the victor. Vadi believed that the life force was in the bound chest. He broke the Picori blade to unseal the chest and found that it did not contain the life force at all. The evil that had been sealed inside poured forth from the chest. Vadi turned Princess Zelda into stone and headed off in search for the life force. The secret of the Picori. The curse placed on Princess Zelda could only be broken with the sacred power of the Picori blade. The tribe of the Picori, also called the Minish, were the only ones able to fix the Picori blade, and they were the only ones seen by children. And they could only be seen by children. Therefore, Smith, the great blacksmith, proposed that the king of Hyrule enlist the help of the young Link. The king told Link where the Minish dwelled. Then, with the broken Picori blade and the smith's sword in hand, Link set off in search of their land. Meeting Eslo. On his way to the Picori home in the Minish woods, young Link met Eslo, a man suffering from a curse. Link came to learn that Eslo had been a Minish sage, and Vadi had been his apprentice. When Vadi put on the mage cap made by Eslo, he gained evil powers and cursed Eslo by changing him into the shape of a cap. The Four Elements. The Four Elements are crystalline forms of the spiritual energy that exists within the world: earth, fire, water, and wind. In order for Link to collect all four elements, he must utilize specific items to accomplish his goals, some of which are similar to the ones used by the heroes of the past. Gustjar, Molmitz. The Wind Tribe. The Wind Tribe originally lived on the land. After mastering the wind, they moved their palace up into the sky. They live even higher than the clouds, and the winds carry news of everything to them. The land they left behind became known as the Wind Ruins. They can ride the wind to travel back and forth between the sky and the land. The Minish Village and the Four Elements. Minish Portal. Feeling responsible for Vadi's actions, Eslo teamed up with Link and set off for the portal to the Minish Village. The Minish were so tiny that they could easily fit into the palm of a grown human's hand. When Link entered the portal, he shrank down to their size and gained entry to the Minish Village in the woods. In order to break the curse on Zelda, Link needed to repair the Picori blade and use its sacred power. There were four elements hidden around the world that Link needed to obtain and then place on the pedestal in the elemental sanctuary to restore the power to the blade. Picori and Link. Vadi's tactics. Link and Eslo. Still on a quest to obtain the light force, Vadi took control of the king of Hyrule and had him order the soldiers to search for the light force. Vadi learned from the legend of the Wind Tribe that when the four elements were collected and placed in the elemental sanctuary, a holy sword would be born, and the path to the life force would be open. Knowing that Link was collecting the four elements, Vadi waited until a time when he could take the elements from Link, the Wind Tribe. The Land of the Minish. The Picori are a tribe of tiny people. Link becomes the size of a Minish and enters their realm. A land most people would not be able to locate, being a very tiny, has its disadvantages for Link. Weak goblins and enormous enemies alike stand in the way of his quest. A small puddle seems like a massive lake. For a tiny person, the dangers are many. The Elemental Sanctuary. The Elemental Sanctuary is a place that humans adults are able to see. The entrance is located in the garden of Hyrule Castle. It holds the pedestal of the four elements, contained the secret of the Light Force. The Legend of the Light Force. The Mage's Cap. The Mage's Cap was originally a gift for Eslo made by a Minish named Eslo. A gift for the humans made by a Minish named Eslo. It granted the wish of the wearer. The stronger the heart of the wearer, the greater the power of the cap exhibits. The Elemental Sanctuary. After collecting all 4 elements, Link placed them on the sacred pedestal. The Picori blade became infused with the power of the transformed into the Force Sword, which gave the wielder the ability to split into 4 identical copies of himself. Simultaneously, a door beyond the pedestal opened, revealing the legend that the Light Force dwelled within the Princess Zelda generation after generation. Vadi's Wrath. After Vadi followed Link and learned about the Light Force, he took Princess Zelda to the roof of the castle and little by little extracted what he could of the Light Force from her body in order to transform himself. Link stopped the ritual, but Vadi was still able to use the power of the Light Force to transform himself into Vadi's Wrath. Using the power of the Force Sword, Link destroyed Vadi's Wrath and broke the curses on Princess Zelda and Ezlo. Battle with Vadi's Wrath. Diminished Ezlo and the Princess, making a wish. The Legend of Link. The Mage's Cap. The battle between Link and Vadi's Wrath brought Hyrule Castle down around them. Ezlo gave the Mage's Cap to Princess Zelda, who, with the small amount of the Light Force left within her, made a wish to restore Hyrule to its original condition. Not long after, the door to the Minish village began to close, but before shut, Ezlo presented Link with a green cap and returned to the Minish village. That's it. We're still in the Force era with Hyrule Force Swords and Force Swords Adventures. Vadi, the Wind Mage. Vadi has no memory of his life as a Picori, goes on to a mindless rampage. With the ability to manipulate the wind, Vadi calls himself the Wind Mage and takes over the Palace of Winds. The hero of the Force Sword. Not much is known about the origin of this hero, but it is possible that he is a descendant of Link, who defeated Vadi previously. The seal is broken. Peace is fleeting in Hyrule. Vadi, presumed dead, suddenly reappeared, and terror returned to land. Vadi occupied the Palace of Winds and kidnapped a very beautiful young woman in Hyrule, one by one. Every beautiful young woman, one by one. That was when the hero carrying the legendary Force Sword appeared. Tapping into the sword's power, the hero's body split into 4, and the combined power of the heroes was enough to defeat Vadi. Vadi was sealed in the Force Sword and enshrined in the Elemental Sanctuary, the sealed Force Sword. The resurrection of the Wind Mage, Princess Zelda. For generations, Princess Zelda and her descendants looked after the sealed Force Sword, but a day came when the seal began to weaken. When Princess Zelda went to check on the seal, it broke. Vadi escaped his prison, kidnapped Zelda, and took her to the Palace of Winds. Alright, last time we read this, I just have to mention this. Last time we read this, I actually got this to be a thumbnail. So let's go for that again. Nice HD thumbnail. Yeah, that's a great thumbnail. I actually got it last time. I'd love to get it this time. Probably not, but you know. Here's hope. The power of the Force Sword. Link witnessed the resurrection of the evil Vadi. Shortly after, a fairy appeared to Link and instructed him to draw the legendary Force Sword. As he did so, he split into 4. The great fairies that they could help Link to get to the Palace of Winds, but he first had to prove his courage by defeating dangerous foes and collecting rupees. The 3 great fairies. The great fairy of the forest protects the region known as the Sea of Trees. The Great Fairy of Ice protects Talus Cave, and the Great Fairy of Flame protects Death Mountain. The Force Era, 4 Swords. The 4 Heroes. After Link collects the rupees from the 3 regions protected by the 3 great fairies and earned the title of Little Eggs, Brave Heroes, and finally the Greatest of Heroes, the Links were given the key to the Palace of Winds, now known as Vadi's Palace. After earning the keys, Vadi's Palace appeared, and the 4 Links set off to confront the Wind Mage. The Great Fairies. Vadi. The Palace of Winds reappears. The 4 Links confronted Vadi in the depths of the palace. Using their combined power, the 4 Links attacked Vadi, defeated him, and rescued Princess Zelda. Vadi was again sealed into the Force Sword, and the Force Sword was returned to its proper place in the pedestal. With the power of the Force Sword once again dormant, the four links merged back into a single body. Princess Zelda and the people of Hyrule again kept a strict watch over the seal. The regions protected by the Great Fairies. The regions protected by the Great Fairies are the dense forest areas called the Sea of Trees, the Frozen Talus Cave, and the volcanic Death Mountain. And there you go. Era of the Hero of Time. This is the big cojones. But should I keep going? I don't know. Let me think. You know what? You guys had to put up with me for a while. It's just like, I know it's short on time. It's just, it's a really big part of the book. Yeah, let's at least read a few of this. Ocarina of Time, the era of the Hero of Time. The Hyrule Kingdom in Chaos. Forbidden Forest. This is the name given to the Kokiri Forest and the Lost Woods by the humans. Living outside its leafy borders, adults lost among the trees turn into Stalfos, and children turn into Skull Kids. Both are doomed to wander the woods. Stalfos, Skull Kid. Originally they had this black, shadowy faces with the lips, as he is racist. So, and as a blackface reference. So nowadays, especially if you play Majora's Mask 3D, you'll notice this. They have a straw, like, what is it? A straw, scarecrow appearance. Which is weird because, I don't know why they picked this picture to put in here. I'm surprised they didn't give any trouble, because, yeah, I'm pretty sure Twilight Princess changed the look. This is, obviously, Ocarina of Time. I guess because it's an Ocarina of Time drawing, they had to do it, but, you know, Hyrule Castle. Deku Tree, Kokiri Forest. Hyrule engulfed by the fires of war, and the kingdom united. The war in Hyrule raged uninhabited for countless eras. In the midst of confusion, a lone woman fled from the fires of war. I'm sorry. Really am. Babe in arms, and escaped to the Forbidden Forest. She entrusted her child to the spirit of the Kokiri Forest, the Deku Tree. The Deku Tree, sensing that the infant's destiny was intertwined with Hyrule's future, took the child in. Once the child's mother had breathed her last, the babe was raised as a Kokiri. This boy would later become Link the Hero. The fighting was eventually quelled in the Kingdom of Hyrule, and the entire land was unified under his kingdom. A brief tranquility. The scars of war faded from Hyrule, and it seemed that at last the world was at peace. Ganondorf, leader of the Gerudo, the people of the desert, once again swore fealty to the King of Hyrule. However, Ganondorf's true aim was the Triforce, said to lie somewhere within the kingdom. Seeking the 3 spiritual stones necessary to open the gateway to the Sacred Realm, he carries out his plots in secret in every corner of the land. A map of the era. Hyrule Castle is located within Hyrule Field, which lies in the center of the kingdom. To the northeast, Death Mountain erupts continuously. The east of the forest, to the south, Lake Hylia. The west is home to the Gerudo Desert. The terrain doesn't differ much from that of the era of the sky, and it does not. Chosen by the Triforce. Era of the Hero of Time. We're now in the Child Era. Well, at least this is explaining some topics from the Child Era. Ocarina of Time. Prophecy in a dream. From the farthest reaches of the desert came a man who shrouded the kingdom of Hyrule beneath dark clouds. Out of the darkness, the light of salvation appeared in the shape of a boy led by a fairy. Impa, Princess Zelda's attendant, one of the last surviving members of the Sheikah tribe, who have served the royal family since ancient times. Impa. The fairy. Navi the fairy was sent by the Deku Tree to serve as Link's guide. She partners with Link, aiding him on his adventure. The prophetic dream of the divine god princess. When she was little, Princess Zelda of Hyrule was chosen by the gods to wield divine power. One day, the destiny of Hyrule was revealed to the princess in a dream. Ganondorf sought the Triforce that rested in the Sacred Realm and was liable to destroy the world. Princess Zelda knew the truth, but her father, the King of Hyrule, didn't believe what the prophecy had foretold. Princess Zelda and her companion Impa took it upon themselves to keep a close eye on Ganondorf during his visit to the castle. Ganondorf the Thief and Princess Zelda. The boy led by the fairy. In the midst of these events, Princess Zelda received a visitor from Kafiri Forest. A young boy led by a fairy, Link, had obtained one of the 3 spiritual stones that has served as a key to opening the Sacred Realm. Princess Zelda, a strong believer in the dream's prophetic prophecy, realized that she needed to locate the Sacred Realm before Ganondorf did, and use the power of the Triforce to bring it about its downfall. She entrusted Link with the task of finding the 2 remaining spiritual stones. Link's travels and the Kokiri tribe. Each member of the Kokiri tribe possesses his or her own fairy partner. Though they never grow up, it is said that they will die upon leaving the forest. Because Link was Hylian by birth, he did not have his own fairy. However, one fateful day, Link set out on his journey. The Deku Tree sent Navi, the fairy, to his side. The green clothes Link wears are characteristic of the Kokiri tribe. The Deku Tree, and Link. Ganondorf's Rebellion. Ocarina of Time. Protected by the royal family, the Ocarina of Time was one of the keys to the Sacred Realm. It can play songs capable of manipulating both time and space. Its blue-white radiance brings to mind the time shift stones found in the era of antiquity. Ocarina of Time. The Master Sword. The sacred blade that cannot be touched by the wicked. It harbors the power to eradicate evil. The sword can only be drawn by the one who is worthy of the title Hero of Time. Link proves his power, wisdom, and courage by obtaining the 3 spiritual stones, the Master Sword. Ganondorf's Rebellion. While Link collected 3 spiritual stones, Ganondorf launched an attack on Hyrule Castle. This extreme measure was an attempt to steal the Ocarina of Time, a treasure of the Sacred Realm under the protection of the royal family. With the help of Impa, Princess Zelda escaped the castle. Spotting Link, the princess tossed him in the Ocarina of Time, praying that he would protect the Triforce. Ganondorf appears before Link. Princess Zelda flees. The door of time is opened. Link restored the 3 spiritual stones to their places in the Temple of Time, and opened the door of time by playing the ocarina. The legendary Master Sword that lay behind the door served as the final key to the Sacred Realm. Ganondorf, apprised of Link's movements, invaded the Sacred Realm to lay his hands on the Triforce. However, only the Triforce of Power remained, as the Triforce of Wisdom and Courage have scattered, seeking those with the ability to wield them. Link draws a Master Sword. 3 spiritual stones. There are 3 spiritual stones, each representing one of the 3 elements: forest, fire, and water. The first is the Kokiri's Emerald, guarded by the Deku Tree. The second is the Goron's Ruby, guarded by the Goron tribe. The third is the Zora's Sapphire, guarded by the Zora. In order to obtain the stones, Ganondorf placed a curse on the Deku Tree in Jabu Jabu, the guardians deities of forest and water, and threatened the Goron tribe. The shape of each spiritual stone resembles its tribe's symbol. Ooh! The spiritual stones of forest, fire, and water, and the tribal symbols of each. Jabu Jabu. And, let me see, we're good on time. Kakariko Village. A secret ancestral village founded by the Sheikah tribe. Princess Zelda's attendant Impa was raised here. The graveyard behind the village contains the royal family's tomb, where Hyrule's blood-stained history of ceaseless conflict is written. Rauru, the sage who created the Temple of Time in eras long past. Before Link drew the Master Sword, Rauru took on the form of an unusual bird named Kaipora Gaibora, watching over the boy as he progressed in his adventure. Kaibora Gaibora. Sheik. Yeah, we know about Sheik, right? She's in Super Smash Bros. I have her amiibo. Dark clouds begin to enshroud Hyrule. The Sacred Realm is a mirror that reflects the hearts of those who set foot in it. An evil heart will turn the realm into a living hell. A pure heart will transform it into a paradise. Using the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf became the Demon King. The Sacred Realm was distorted into a nightmarish world where demons ran amok. Hyrule Castle and Castle Town fell under Ganondorf's control, and the survivors fled to Kakariko Village. The young hero begins his sleep. Meanwhile, despite the fact that Link was worthy of drawing the Master Sword, his youthful body made him unfit to serve as the Hero of Time. Accordingly, the Master Sword sealed Link within the Secret Realm. Within the Temple of Light, the cornerstone of the Sacred Realm, the ancient sage Rauru watched over Link in a small area called the Chamber of Sages. Link, guarded by Rauru, slept for 7 long years. Princess Zelda had no choice but to wait for the seal on Link to be broken. In order to escape the Demon King's pursuit, she went into hiding by disguising herself as a boy of the Sheikah tribe and adopting the name Sheik. Hylian in this era. The Hylian syllabary is characterized by its wedge-like shapes. It is possible to decipher the Hylian characters using the chart on the right by matching them to their Japanese equivalents. Asai meaning Kakariko Mura, meaning Kakariko Village in Japanese. This should also be the same text used on the Wii U Zelda edition of the Wii U. There's some text around it. I forgot what it meant, but I'm sure I mentioned it last time. But whatever, look it up. Sheik's harp. Playing her harp, Princess Zelda teaches Link special songs to guide him to the temples. The Hylian shield, an indestructible shield decorated with the same design that favored the era of the goddess Hylia. It is strong enough to withstand fire and cannot be broken. The Hylian shield. The Sage Medallions. Medallions imbued with the power of the awakened sages. With each medallion, he obtains the Hero of Time attains even greater power. The hero awakens. Wielding the Master Sword in his left hand and carrying a Hylian shield in his right, Link returned as an adult. When Princess Zelda played her harp, she imparted her wisdom to Link. She instructed the hero to break the curse on each of the 5 temples to awaken the sages within. Link and Sheik play a song together. The actions of the Hero of Time, a battle with BillyVGAB inside the Fire Temple. Link, the Hero of Time, spurred his horse across the land and traveled through time. Breaking each temple's curse, receiving medallions from the awakened sages, he gradually added their power to his own. Link gallops across the fields. Link's beloved horse Epona and Lon Ranch. In Hyrule Field sits Lon Ranch. It is run by its lazy owner Talon, his daughter Malon, who enjoys singing, and their ranch hand Ingo. Ever since Link was young, he had a special affinity with the horse called Epona. In the adult era, Ingo falls under the control of an evil mind and forcibly takes over the land from its owners. However, Link manages to win Epona from him in a successful wager. Okay, so here's Link and Epona, here's Mario, Malon, and Luigi. I had to. I'll read this last page, we got time. Yeah, this is the guy I was thinking of before, Darunia. Saria, the Forest Sage, the only Kokiri who really understands Link. She sees the truth, realizing that he's not a member of the Kokiri tribe. Saria used to sit in the depths of the forest playing her ocarina. Her special spot was actually the entrance to the Forest Temple. Darunia, the Fire Sage, by this guy. The leader of the Goron tribe, he has a fiery personality. Impressed by Link's courage, he names his son after the hero. Ruto, the Water Sage. Princess of the Zora tribe, she is aided by Link in the child era and Sheik in the adult era, eventually awakening as a sage. Naburu, the Spirit Sage. A chivalrous thief of the Gerudo tribe, because she opposes Ganondorf, she is brainwashed by his surrogate mothers, the pair called Twin Rova after combining. 6 sages are restored. Rauru was the Sage of Light, who continued his vigil over the Sacred Realm since time immemorable. Saria of the Kokiri tribe was the Sage of Forest. Darunia of the Goron tribe was the Sage of Fire. Princess Ruto of the Zora tribe was the Sage of Water. Impa, Zelda's attendant, was the Sage of Shadow. Naburu, the chivalrous thief, was the Sage of Spirit. At last, all 6 had been restored. Yep, look at all. Yep, there they are. All 4 of them. They're not showing every one of them, but we've seen Sheik and we've seen the other one. Reunion with Princess Zelda. Princess Zelda was the leader of the sages and the 7th sage. Right. We also see Zelda too. She bore the Triforce of Wisdom on her hand. Once the right moment had arrived, Sheik revealed her true identity to Link, confessing that he was actually Princess Zelda. The princess intended to draw Ganondorf into the abyss, whose seal had been rent upon by the 6 sages. She would then use her own power to close it off from the outside world. In order to do this, however, Princess Zelda would need the might of Link the hero. Gorons, the people of fire, and Zora, the people of water. The Goron tribes, who guard the spiritual stone of fire, is a group of rock eaters that make their home in Death Mountain. In this era, their leader is Darunia. The Zora tribe, who protect the spiritual stone of water, live in Zora's domain, located in the headwaters of Zora's river. The tribe, unified by the ruler known as King Zora. The king Link meets in this era is known as Zora de Bon the 16th. His daughter is Princess Ruto. Also, to clarify, I don't remember, I'm pretty sure this book actually says it, but if anyone's ever wondering why Zoras look so different in the 3D games than they do in the 2D games, it is because there is River Zoras, which and then there's Ocean Zoras. I think these are the River Zoras here, and then the Ocean Zoras are the ones from the 2D games, just to clarify. We'll go for, hang on, am I almost done here? Yeah, I guess we'll finish this off. The decisive battle with Ganondorf. Ganondorf, who had placed Link under surveillance, kidnapped Princess Zelda and brought her to his castle. He intended to lure Link there also, seeking the final piece of the Triforce. The Triforce of Power possessed by Ganondorf, the Triforce of Wisdom born by Princess Zelda, and the Triforce of Courage that dwelt within Link. Once the 3 pieces were united, they would resonate together. At last, the time had come to battle with Ganondorf. That's a great illustration. Link versus Ganondorf. If the hero of time is defeated, a different timeline would unfold. Turn to page 92. Ganon's castle. The castle that once belonged to Hyrule's royal family is occupied by Ganondorf, who transforms it into a sinister fortress. Though it is protected by a complex barrier, Link, wielding the power of the sages, advances to the highest floor where Ganondorf lies in wait. Ganondorf's chamber. The Demon King Ganon. Though Ganon is also a nickname for Ganondorf, here it refers to the beast-like form adopted by the thief following his transformation. The Demon King resembles a giant boar. Transforming into the Demon King Ganon, Link was victorious in his one-on-one battle with Ganondorf. However, the thief used Lasser's power to transform into a demonic evil beast. The Demon King cornered Zelda and Link and Princess Zelda. Ganon. The Gerudo tribe, people of the desert. A group of thieves that inhabit the Gerudo desert, the tribe bears only female children, who occasionally wander in the Hyrule in search for boyfriends. Their custom decree that a male child born to the tribe every 100 years will be crowned their king. Ganondorf was raised by Kotake and Kume, a pair of twin witches called Twinrova. Twinrova worshipped Ganondorf as the Demon King. It would be said that the sisters, who had lived for over 400 years, ruled the tribe from behind the scenes. Kotake and Kume. And here's the Gerudo alphabet, which is actually translated to English. So you can't do that if you want. Let's see. Ganondorf is sealed away. Ganondorf, having lost the battle, is sealed away, along with the Triforce of Power. Though he has regained his human form, Ganondorf's intense animosity towards Princess Zelda, Link, and the sages will bring about disaster in eras to come. Ganondorf is sealed. Hyrule at peace. A large crowd gathers at Lon Ranch to celebrate. In Kokiri Forest, the Deku tree sprout takes root, and the world begins to return to a state of purity. The Deku tree sprout. Okay, Link the hero is victorious. Following a fierce battle, Princess Zelda entrapped Ganon with waves of light, and Link delivered this finishing blow. The 6 sages completed the task by imprisoning the beast in a sealed void that had been rent in the sacred realm. Sage's seal. Link delivers the finishing blow. Peace returns to Hyrule. Thus, the curtain fell on the battle for Hyrule. 7 years earlier, Princess Zelda had mistakenly allowed Ganondorf to enter the sacred realm in her attempt to maintain control over the Holy Domain. In order to right her wrong, she played the ocarina, returning Link to his original era, and allowing him to regain the 7 years that had passed while he remained sealed. Peace had been restored to the land of Hyrule, but its return marked the parting of Link and Princess Zelda. Link returns to the Ocarina of Time. A cyclical tale arose from the ancient battle. The life of the time-traveling hero caused the chain of history to branch off in multiple directions. From this point onward, the chronology of Hyrule diverges dramatically. This marks the end of the Legend of the Gods and the Hero of Time. The timeline unfolds the following of the Hero of Time's Return to the Trial Era. Please turn to page 110. For the timeline that unfolds following the hero's time departure from the adult era, please turn to page 122. And the next time when we return, we'll be on page 92, discussing the decline of Hyrule and the last hero. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm Billy, your video game analyzer. Have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you next time.